I was never interested in getting on a soapbox and taking a stand on an issue. In fact, if you look through picket fences and the practice, if the show didn't, if an issue didn't have two strong sides, I wasn't really interested. In fact, the greatest compliment that we could hear is that people were fighting in their living rooms, arguing amongst themselves while watching a show what was the right position. And I also took it as a compliment when people asked me, well, what's your position? They didn't know how I personally felt on an issue. That made me feel, okay, we were walking the line successfully and representing both sides. However, when Boston Legal came into being, it was 911 and post 911 area, and all of a sudden dissent became an evil word, and debate was not a noble thing to do, and it struck me that all of a sudden it became politically incorrect to ask hard questions of your leaders and of your country, and with that, Boston Legal became a bit of a town crier, if you will. I always felt it was irresponsible for a producer to use a television series as his podium, and I never really appreciated it. But when I saw everyone going the other way and being afraid to tackle issues and being scared to ask tough questions, then I looked at it through a completely different prism, and I said, maybe it's irresponsible for us not to use our podium on occasion, not all the time, but on occasion. I was very struck by politically incorrect being canceled for being politically incorrect. All of a sudden, you just weren't supposed to say things that were unpopular, and you weren't supposed to challenge your government or your leadership. And Edward R. Murrow always said, don't confuse disloyalty for dissent, or whatever the quote was, and that was something that I always adhered to and believed in. And this show at this time, maybe there's room on the television for landscape on the television landscape for one show to jump up and down and say this isn't right on a given issue. So we let our characters do that. But again, we tried to tuck it under entertainment. I mean, the dirty little secret, because I always said, look, don't preach, entertain, do not preach, entertain. But the dirty little secret on Boston Legal is we would entertain, and then preach like hell that fourth act. So, but it was different, and we sometimes alienated some of our viewers, but I really feel if we had the criticism that was wrong is that we were one of those Democrat lovers shows and not we're anti-Republican. I think if we had gone on, you would have seen us poking at the Obama administration the same way we jabbed at the Bush one.